Hey everybody, it's winter. There's still some hunting, but most people don't really hunt this time of year. Enough's enough with the doe pressure. I just set up a camera. I want to see what all is left out here, if there's any bucks around. Check my buck to doe ratio maybe. And pretty hard to do that with just a couple cameras, but I can see that deer have been feeding on the oats out here a little bit. They're walking around picking off whatever they can find when the snow falls off of it. There's a few tracks, but what's the fact that this is the time of year when most hunters and landowners just aren't thinking about the deer. Now as you can see, we've done some logging. Still trying to get the logs out of here. That's going to help this winter. It's going to be a lot of tops on the ground. There's some red maple and oak tops that are going to be good to eat, and that gives you a nice flush of food. But wouldn't it be nice if I had a couple acres of high oil corn out there and maybe good healthy oak trees that are making acorns? The oaks around here are struggling and they aren't really making acorns lately, and so there's really nothing to eat. And I'm sure if I walk around here a while, I'm going to see a couple of coyote tracks. So this is the time of year that you have to focus on, the times of great stress and shortages. If you really want to get healthy deer, grow some venison and antlers. So how do you do that? Well, you got to get some cold tolerant plants, lots of them. Keep browse coming in the understory. Get some native shrubs going. There's a lot you can do to keep the deer healthy, get some food in front of their face, and sure enough, coyotes. So these tracks are here every day. I'm going to try to get a friend of mine to come out with his quasar scope and try to get one of these at night. The last thing I need is a breeding pair raising a bunch of pups here, because that female will clean up all your fawns except for the smartest does that can somehow steer clear. But the last 5 years or so, we haven't seen a lot of fawns around here. So anyway, I burned off this switchgrass patch. I'm going to try and do something with this field and that field. Put corn in here next year, maybe. Corn's really expensive, but boy, this time of year, if you're out hunting in the late season, that's where they're going to be. So anyway, I guess that's about all I got to say about that. But don't forget about the deer when you're nice and warm in your living room, because there's zero wind chill out here at night. And they're out here scrounging around trying to find a place to feed and a place to get warm. The interesting thing about deer is that they can slow their metabolism way down in the winter, so they're not using so many calories, and they try to find a place that they can hole up and just hunker down and keep warm. And then, we don't have a lot of deep snow, which is good. They can still scrounge around and get some greens out of this field. But it's only January, so we got January, February, and most of March where there's nothing to eat. So we have to think about that and what you're going to do about it. The big antlers come from a healthy doe giving birth to a really healthy buck, and then plenty of nutrition going into spring when they start growing antlers in April. If they have to spend all their energy trying to rebuild their body after starving all winter, they're not going to grow antlers. So food for thought. Okay, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next video.